بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيب قلوبنا المصطفى المؤيد المحمود الأحمد أبا الزهراء محمد وعلى آله وصحبه المنتجبين. May the peace and the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon His holy messenger and his family, peace be upon them. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. I pray like Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, when he says, Lord, ease the tightness in my chest, make my journey smooth, and untie the knot in my tongue. I choose to start with these verses today from the Holy Quran, as they seem very relevant to us today as women, as Muslim women who are leaders in our community and society. Welcome to the BC Muslim Women's Forum, entitled Courage and Leadership, hosted by the Foundation for a Path Forward. I'm your moderator, Fatima El-Sammak, and it's an honor for me to be here with you today. I'm a planning consultant at a nonprofit organization called Vantage Point, but I'm not representing them today. It's my identity that I cherish is that I'm an Iraqi-Canadian Muslim woman who is a community organizer and leader who uplifts communities and members to be able to respond to the challenges in our community and respond to a world that is not in favor of us. Together, we will address important conversations, inshallah, on leadership, combating Islamophobia, and the mental health and well-being of our Muslim sisters. I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered here today on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We are grateful to be able to live, learn, and work on this land as settlers, and we honor their safeguarding of the land for time immemorial. We honor Truth and Reconciliation Day in Canada, a time dedicated to acknowledging the profound injustices and ethnic and cultural genocides faced by Indigenous people. I am deeply pained to know that every 2 weeks, an Indigenous language is lost. It becomes extinct. Every 2 weeks, a language that holds history, culture, and a unique perspective on life is lost. This day reminds us of the importance of understanding Indigenous history, nurturing relationships with Indigenous communities, and striving for reconciliation and healing. At the same time, we are painfully aware of the ongoing genocide in Palestine and Lebanon, where our brothers and sisters are enduring immense suffering and daily attacks by the Zionist regime. Just in the last few days, the violent attacks on Lebanon have killed over 1,000 people and displaced over 1 million. The genocide of Indigenous peoples and those in Palestine and Lebanon are not isolated. They echo the traumas that shape our world today, where the scars of colonialism and oppression continue to inflict deep pain on our people. If anything, this is a testament to the importance of our work here today. We have gathered as a community of leaders, advocates, and change makers. Your presence speaks volumes about the commitment we all have to share, the commitment that we all share to foster understanding, support, and empowerment within our community. The theme for today's forum is courage and leadership. We are here to explore how courage can inspire change and how leadership can amplify our voices against the challenges we face, including Islamophobia, mental health struggles, and safety concerns. In a world where many of us still face prejudice and misunderstanding, today's conversations are more important than ever. Our objective today is not just to discuss, but to empower. We aim to equip you with tools, insights, and inspirations to drive change, whether it's in your personal lives, within your professional spheres, or in our broader communities. We hope that today's discussions will encourage us all to step into our roles as leaders and advocates, equipped with courage and compassion. At this time, I'd like to the stage someone who has dedicated her life to empowering women, advocating for justice, and supporting those in need. Tanweer Ebrahim is the founder and board director of the Nisa Foundation, a human rights advocate and an outreach officer at Justice for All Canada. She is also widely recognized as a trailblazer in the community, having led numerous initiatives to uplift and support Muslim women across Canada. Tanweer has been instrumental in establishing safe spaces and resources for women facing challenges, from Islamophobia to mental health struggles. Her leadership and vision are at the heart of today's gathering. And we are fortunate to have her open this event. Please join me in welcoming Tanweer Ebrahim to the stage for her opening remarks.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, special guest, ladies, and distinguished guests. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered today on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including Musqueam, Squamish, and the Wotooth nations. We are grateful to be able to meet on this land and recognize the rich history and resilience of Indigenous communities that have stewarded it for us and for generations. Today's event is more than just a gathering. It is a space where Muslim women leaders, advocates, and allies come together to find strength and solidarity, and to empower one another in the face of the many challenges we encounter both personally and collectively. We live in a time when Islamophobia, a fear, prejudice, and hatred against Muslims continues to grow both globally and here in Canada. This hostile environment affects Muslim women disproportionately, particularly those who choose to wear the hijab or express their faith outwardly. Many face threats, discrimination, and even acts of violence in their day-to-day lives. Islamophobia isn't just an attack on our religion. It's an attack on our identity, our dignity, and our right to exist without fear. Recent events have highlighted the severity of this issue. In Winnipeg, a mosque was the target of harassing and Islamophobic threats that shook the community deeply, and that recently happened the past week. Meanwhile, in London, Ontario, 2 Muslim women were violently attacked in broad daylight. These acts of hate rooted in Islamophobia are not isolated incidents. They reflect a disturbing trend that continues to grow across our country. Places of worship, which should be sanctuaries of peace, are being violated, and women are facing violence simply for expressing their faith. We must acknowledge the mental health toll this takes on Muslim women who are constantly navigating spaces where they feel unsafe, judged, marginalized, or silenced. This can lead to feelings of isolation, anxiety, and depression. As many struggle to balance their professional and personal lives in a society that often views them through a lens of suspicion. However, today we're not here just to talk about these challenges. We are here to reclaim our narrative, to share stories of resilience and leadership, and to strategize about how Muslim women cannot only survive, but thrive in a world that sometimes seeks to diminish them. As we proceed with today's event, I encourage you all to listen closely to the stories and perspectives of our esteemed speakers, from government representatives to community advocates to frontline defenders against hate. These women have each made significant strides in their respective fields and are here to share their wisdom, experiences, and visions for the future. This forum is a call to action. It's a call for us to step into leadership roles, to empower ourselves and one another, and to continue the fight for justice and equality. Together, we can push back against Islamophobia, support mental health, and create a world where Muslim women not only have to sit at a seat at the table, but are also the ones shaping the conversation. Thank you.